Okay, so in this video I'm going to talk about the meeting that I had today with the Vice President of Welfare at Northumbria University, Ryan Bush. I really wanted to meet with Ryan because at the expo the other day we were asked some questions about the kind of services that Northumbria had to offer to victims of sexual assault, and I didn't really have an answer for them. And I really wanted to be able to also, at the end of the show, include these services and tell the audience what these services were and where they could get help if they required it. So I set up this meeting with Ryan, and it was a really interesting meeting. He sort of told me about his role at the university. He sort of also told me about how basically the process that a victim of sexual assault would go through once they had disclosed their experience. He talked very much about his work with REACH, which is the Rape Examination Advice Counselling Help Service. They are the main service that they sort of work with to help victims of sexual assault to make sure that medically they're taken care of, as well as emotionally and physically and mentally as well. He also talked about student support, which is at Northumbria University. When I asked sort of where would be the best place to go if I was a student and I'd been a victim of sexual assault, he said student support would be the best way to go. And because everyone at student support is sort of trained and sort of knows how to deal with this kind of disclosure from a student. Interestingly, he also told me that everyone on the student union, the student union sort of committee, is also trained to be able to deal with any sort of disclosure of this kind, which is really interesting because I didn't honestly think that would be the case. Ryan also said that, he sort of said, well, yes, we've had this training, I've had this training, because as the welfare officer, the vice welfare sort of officer on the committee, it's his job to make sure that sort of the needs in the university are being met for the students. So if there's any problems that any students having, such as this, or if anyone's welfare is sort of in question, then it is sort of Ryan's job to find ways to try and help the person. And he was really great about it. He was really supportive of the project. He really wanted us to be able to talk about it, to talk about the issue of sexual assault at university, because he also felt that it was a subject that not many people talk about at university. I did ask him, did he think that this issue was becoming more prominent? And he said, well, obviously I can't name names, which is absolutely fine. But he said the number of reports is rising. This was really sort of a big turning point in the meeting. He said to me, yes, the number of sexual assault sort of disclosures is rising, as is additionally the amount of student suicides. And I think Ryan really tried to get across to me that we need to talk about these subjects more because student suicide also isn't spoken about very often. And he feels that if we don't start and talk about it more, talk about these issues more, then really nothing's going to change. And he sort of said that these subjects are the uncomfortable subjects. These are the subjects that not many people want to talk about, and that's why people don't. And that sort of made me think, well, actually, that is the reason that I'm doing this production, so that people talk about this issue. So he was just really supportive of the project. We did invite him to come and see the project as well, and he said he would very much like to, which is great. It's great that we've got sort of the university support, not the university support, rather the student union support for the project, because they're independent from the university. And, well, just to sort of move on from that, when I asked him about services that the services that were available at the university that I could sort of say at the end of the production, there are these services available, he really highlighted student support. He said they are the sort of counselling service at the university. They are the best people that a student could talk to if they were ever facing any difficulties. He also told me you can sign up to, for an appointment online. So that's also really interesting, something that I can hopefully work into the script or work into the ending of the script. And hopefully I'll be able to sort of highlight that service. He also mentioned the Nightline service, which I have heard about. It's sort of a service that It's sort of a volunteer based service where students can ring this number and talk about any issues that they're having. I really want to include this in the script, especially at the end when I'm talking about the services that are available to students. I really want to be able to say, there is this service, there is student support, and there is also Nightline. Please use them if anyone in particular needed any support. And I feel like that's what the script is missing at the moment. I feel like the script is missing, the kind of bringing it back to the sort of the reality of being in a real university, because we're performing in a real university, and I think a lot of the audience members are going to be university students. So I really want to bring it back to the reality that, this is a show, this is a story, but equally this is happening in real life. And if you are experiencing these things, here are the people that you can talk to, and here is the number that you can call to get the help that you need. And that's really sort of a really important thing to me, is that if someone needed support and saw my production, then they could say, right, okay, I know where to go, and I know what to do. So yeah, it was a really productive meeting with Ryan. I'm really glad that we got to meet and discuss the production. I'm really excited that he's hopefully going to come to the show as well. So yeah, I'm sort of just still going into the writing of draft 2 of the script. I'm looking at the feedback from Katrina McHugh, MBE, and I'm also waiting on the feedback from Tess from Rape Crisis as well. So I'm sort of just still going into the editing of the script for draft 2, and hopefully this draft will be even better now that we also have the services that I can now put into the script to be able to tell the audience that they can access if they ever need them. So yeah, I'm very positive at the moment. I'll be back again for the next post. Thank you very much.